So this week, the past week and a half has really been an adjustment because it was my first time really spending time alone and getting back in the groove of having alone time in a very long time, which is like crazy for me because I went through a really big healing journey after my breakup with my ex. Over a year ago, and before I moved to LA, for like the 6 months leading up to me moving out here, I was spending every single day alone, and just like I was drinking like 6 cups of tea a day and just like going to my favorite park, and I was journaling so much, and I was so in my groove of being alone. And honestly, I was accomplishing so much and like working so much because I had such a strong vision of moving to LA, and I really wanted to make it happen by summer, and I did. I came out here July 5th. But yeah, I was just like so used to being alone, and I was feeling like so healed and just so in tune with myself. And that's how I felt when I first moved here too. And I really felt like I was in such a good place. And it was definitely rough at times, especially when I first got here, because it was like I got here and I was so excited. And then I just was like, okay, we made it. We don't know anybody. Like, we don't know where anything is. And so that part was a little bit rough, like realizing like, okay, I'm feeling like a little bit lonely. Like, I actually don't know anybody yet. I have to make friends. And so I ended up going out to all these different events and just like going solo and putting myself out there. And I was like volunteering and introducing myself to people in lines because I literally had like nothing to lose. But yeah, and I ended up making like a ton of friends that way. And I've hung out with those friends so much over the past year that I don't know. I think that like once you find people that you really love to spend time with, it's really easy to just spend like all the time with them. And I was just talking to my friend Elijah the other day, and we were both saying how it's like we feel like we either are on like either sides of the spectrum, where it's like we're either like draining the fuck out of our social battery and spending way too much time with other people and not taking the necessary time for ourselves to recharge, or we're going full hermit mode, isolating ourselves like too much to the point where it's like we're not hanging out with any of our friends, we're not texting anybody back. And I'm like, God, I feel like that's so true for myself. I'm like known to disappear and just kind of like dip off the interwebs and off of my phone for like weeks at a time. And I really do feel like that's actually very necessary at times. And I really think that we go through different phases in life where sometimes we're more social and there's more things going on, and then sometimes things slow down. So I do think it's good to just embrace whatever you're experiencing at the time, but really, really important to find that balance and to make sure that you still are honoring your needs, especially your needs for alone time, and if that's how you recharge. Because I just feel like I've been spending too much time with people that I love, and there's just been a lot going on, but I just haven't been taking that necessary time to myself, and so I really, really started doing that this past week and a half. And also just beyond that, there's a lot that has happened over the past couple of weeks, and it just feels like things have kind of slowed down. And I've just definitely been granted the opportunity to have ample free time to myself. So I've just been getting back into that routine of being alone and like being comfortable with it and getting excited about it. And like, it's definitely been an adjustment. And I was really, really hyped about it because I really do thrive when I'm spending like ample time by myself, and I love spending time by myself. Like, it literally used to be and like is becoming again my favorite thing to do, because like, who knows you better than you know yourself? Like, I know all of my favorite things, and I just get to relax, and I don't have to like worry about entertaining anybody or communicating with anybody. Like, I don't have to talk at all. And like, I actually feel so fortunate that the friends that I do have are so incredible that it's like, if we are together, there literally is no pressure to talk. Like, I can invite Naz over and we could be hanging out and literally just be silent the entire time. Or I have multiple friends like that are just like great, and you know, they just want to share space, and there's never any pressure to be full of energy and whatnot. But still, there's just something different about just being alone and being in your zone and doing your own thing. So yeah, and even though it's like such an amazing thing, after you haven't done it for a while, it can still just be like an adjustment. And so that's what I was feeling earlier in the week. Even though I was so excited about it, it was still uncomfortable at times and like actually difficult at times. And I felt a lot of like past wounds coming up and certain triggers coming up around just like codependency and loneliness and like abandonment wounds and stuff. So I'm actually really proud of myself because I was very proactive in dealing with those emotions when they came up and really good at regulating for myself. And what I actually found to be really, really helpful was journaling as soon as I was feeling those emotions coming up. So as soon as I noticed something, I would write it down in my journal so I could immediately bring it to light. And I think that's really important because I just know that if I don't do that, that I'm just kind of like ignoring it or pushing it down, and it will continue to linger. And that's why it came back up again. It obviously needed to be looked at deeper. But and I've also noticed too that sometimes it's like I will almost like borderline gaslight myself, or my first instinct sometimes when I feel these emotions come up is to be like, oh, but we've healed that, or like there's no logical reason why you should be feeling that way right now, and like try to like intellectualize my way out of it. But really that is gaslighting yourself, and like that's not cool to do. And obviously it's coming up because a part of you is still feeling that way, and you should always honor how you're feeling, and obviously it's there for a reason. And whatever part of you that is still feeling wounded or feeling this way needs attention and also deserves love and healing. So I think it's just really, really important to make sure that no matter what, you are bringing those feelings to light and holding space for them, and just, you know, being really, really compassionate towards yourself, and understanding towards yourself, and just loving towards those feelings that are coming up, or those triggers that are coming up, and maybe just staying really curious about them so you can try to get to the root of them and heal them and transmute them so they aren't coming up again. But I've also noticed with my life that a lot of times it's just like a constant chipping away. So I've obviously had moments where it's felt like I've really, really deeply healed things or transmuted things, but you know, sometimes there's still little parts that are like that need more work later on, and you'll definitely find out, like, you know, your emotions will definitely let you know. But yeah, so I was just really, really proactive about journaling about those things just to bring them to the surface. Really, really good at just holding space for those feelings, and also just really allowing myself to feel and to let it out, and to just like cry if I needed to cry. I love crying so much, and it always is such a major release, and sometimes I don't even know why I'm crying, but then later I'll just feel so much lighter. And so it's just like, I know at this point in my journey that it's just so important to feel all of the feelings, and also very important to stay aware of the feelings and to not identify with them, to kind of like remove yourself and create some space between you and whatever you're feeling, and to just observe it so that you can hold space for it and not just get swept up in it, because that definitely used to happen to me, and that was really, really intense. And then it's just like you're kind of on a roller coaster, and your whatever feelings come up can totally dictate your mood. So it's really, really important to cultivate that solid base for yourself within to operate from at all times, and to also make sure that you're just like slowing down throughout the day so that you can have that awareness to recognize when something comes up, and to be able to deal with it in the moment. So yeah, that was coming up for me in the beginning of the week, and also just adjustments and like having this free time and having things I wanted to do, but just like not being used to having so much time that I didn't even know like how to begin to go about doing the things or what order. Like I was just overwhelmed with free time, basically, that I was just like, how do I structure my day? And like, also I think I just have like ADHD brain, so I can get really flustered and overwhelmed easily when it comes to figuring out like what I should do in the present moment. It's like I'll become aware that I'm of the moment. I'll become aware of the present moment and recognize like, okay, I have this energy and I have this awareness right now, but like, what do I want to do with it? And I'll just come up with like 10 million different ideas and I want to do them all at the same time. And it just gets so jumbled in my brain sometimes. So I found that for that, meditation really, really helps me to be able to just like slow down. And then usually if I come out of that meditation, it's like I will just kind of flow into doing something and like, oh, this makes sense. And then I kind of just flow into the next thing and the next thing. And I'm able to just like have my day unfold in a way that feels really good and natural. But yeah, I was definitely majorly struggling with that earlier in the week. And honestly, I think it was just part of the process. And I just needed to be as gentle with myself as I could and to just like, you know, do what I could to be proactive about it, but also just like honor it and not put too much pressure on myself. And like, if I didn't get certain things done, to like, you know, just be kind to myself and be compassionate towards myself. But within the last couple of days after feeling through those dense emotions, I'm feeling really, really good and like just getting really, really excited about having this time to myself again and about doing the things that I really love doing, like smoking weed and watching movies with myself at night and writing in my journal and doing yoga and stretching at night. One of my favorite things to do ever, like a year and a half ago, was turn off all the lights in my house and play music and just stretch and move and dance. And it's just like a full-on meditation. You just get totally out of your thoughts and just really, really drop into your body. And it just feels like such a relief to be able to unplug from like constant thought loops and whatnot and whatever is going on in your reality and stuff at the time, to just truly be immersed in the present moment. It's such a beautiful thing. But I just like find that when I get so wrapped up in everyday life, I don't make time for those things, and they sound appealing, but it's just like I don't do it, or I end up scrolling on my phone instead. And so yeah, I did that the other night and it felt so euphoric and just like incredible. And last night I took some mushrooms with myself and just had like a really sweet night. Definitely felt a lot of feelings and released a lot as well, but just like started drawing in my sketch pad. And I went to the library like last week and I got this book on Hinduism. And so I was reading that last night, and that was really interesting to me and something I wanted to learn more about for a long time. So just like flipping between all these different hobbies and just like, you know, just spending that sweet time with yourself can be so, so fun and so rewarding. And you just get to learn so much about yourself and kind of build upon your own energy and think about what it is that you like and what you like to do and what interests you have. And you know, some periods of my life where I had ample alone time was when I watched like some of my favorite animes now that just I feel like added so much to my life, or watched some of my favorite movies, or just like tried new hobbies or listened to new music that I normally just like I don't do those things when I'm constantly giving my free time away to other people, or when I'm constantly just keeping myself busy. And so it just feels really, really good to just slow down and to come back to myself and to like get hyped about those things again, and to like clean my house for myself, and then just like take a hot shower, put on cute pajamas, like make myself a snack, like put on a movie. Like that is literally such an ideal night. So yeah, just like getting back to that place of lightness and just, you know, holding space for all of the things that come up along the way. And yeah, it's fun and it's exciting and it just feels good to be alive. And I know that this time with myself is so beneficial and just feels really, really good. So I'm hyped about that, and just, yeah, it feels really, really good to be in this place. And even if I was feeling semi-resistant to it at first, like, you just gotta lean into it, and you just have to, like, if something feels uncomfortable, it probably is something that you should lean into, and it probably is something that you should stay curious about, and it probably is something that needs a little bit of healing. And I know it can be really, really hard sometimes and really uncomfortable, but I think just do your best and even if you have to take baby steps, or, you know, if you're feeling lonely, just like call a friend. Or I can't even tell you the amount of times I called my mom and my sister this week and just sat on FaceTime while they were hanging out together. So yeah, just like don't be afraid to reach out to people, or, you know, just do what feels good. But I think that allowing yourself to sit in that discomfort and to just surrender to it is so, so healing and just so worth it in the end. So, and then you get to enjoy your time with yourself, and it's like fucking fun and amazing. And I'm like looking at my bike right now because somebody stole the tire, but I need to get a new tire because like I can't wait to ride my bike around my neighborhood again. And yeah, just be with myself. And something that I actually highly, highly recommend if you are doing this, or if you feel like life has been moving really, really fast and you just want to slow down again and come back to yourself and reconnect with yourself, or your routines, or your relationship to source and whatnot, is deactivating social media. I have always felt a pull to deactivate when my life just feels like it's moving way too fast. And I've had a lot of friends tell me, like, don't do that. Like, just like delete the app or whatever. But it's just not the same to me. And I feel like there's just like a difference in energy when it's just like you're fully disappeared and you're off of that and people can't observe you either. And every single time I do it, I just feel an immediate sense of intimacy and deeper presence with myself and my life and my inner world. And yeah, I just usually will do it for, you know, anywhere from a week to like a couple of months, and just kind of like tend to myself and whatever needs some more attention, just because I feel like I can just get so wrapped up in work and everyday life and just like the matrix and social media and scrolling and stuff, and it just I just don't take that time for myself. And you know, for some reason just deactivating my Instagram really helps, which is sad. I spend so much time on there, but I think it's just easy for anyone in this day and age to get wrapped up in it. So it just feels good to just fully get off of that for a while to reconnect. And so then when I come back to, it's like I'm just much more aware of like how often I pick up my phone, or every single time I open whatever app. I just have such a heightened awareness, and I feel like to be able to get that, sometimes you really have to take a step back, almost like a dopamine cleanse. So yeah, that's been immensely helpful for me. I highly recommend just like unplugging, just in general, not even just social media, but just from everything every once in a while. So, okay, this is Emily from a couple of weeks later. I'm editing this video right now, and I could not tell you why it abruptly ended like that. So I just wanted to give it a little bit more of an ending. But yeah, don't be afraid to unplug from your routine, from, you know, what's going on around you. Don't be afraid to feel FOMO. Don't be afraid to just take a step back for yourself, to be able to really go inward and see if there's anything that maybe needs a little bit more attention or love. It always pays off, and it can be really hard to even be aware of these things when we get caught up in life and when it feels like it's moving really, really fast. So don't be afraid to slow down. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I believe in you, and we're all in this together, and I will see you guys in another video soon.